Hi, this is Nia and I'm going to be sharing with you my beauty regime, which I clearly don't have. For the shoot, for any kind of shoot, precisely 40 minutes depending on what kind of look there is. My morning skincare regime, I just wake up, I wash my eyes, followed by washing my face with the Cetaphil because again sensitive skin, so I have to use only medicated face washes and all of that. Home remedy. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of home remedies and home packs and all of that. There is no time to do such things, and I don't like slow things. I want to put something and it should instantly show results. So I don't do home remedies. Yeah, so my makeup hack would be I just apply lipstick, which is not even a lipstick, a matte does it for me. So the matte lipstick does it for me, so I will just dab it on my lips and it looks plump. Festive or wedding look. I like using flowers, big roses on my juda, and it kind of looks amazing, and I think blingy lehengas kind of fascinate me a lot. I don't know about others, but yeah. Oh, when I came into this industry at the age of 20 and my first show, which was Kali Ek Agni Pariksha, तो मुझे कुछ आता ही नहीं था और वो कुछ भी करके रखते थे मेरे face पे. I was a kid. Two-faced lady balls. 6. I'm a mascara person because I've got naturally big lashes, so when I apply mascara it looks pretty. No yaar, I think there are many professionals out there and people can do without me. Makeup fails. Oh, every time we sit in a vanity, we decide what to do and we get on to doing it, and the next thing is 40 minutes she'll take to do my eyeshadow, and then the next thing is like, acha nahi lag raha hai, and then I take a wipe and I say boom boom, and then we redo it. So there have been epic makeup fails, but then I tell you the results after that, after many failed attempts, when you achieve something, it is brilliant. So it's okay to fail. Beauty regime that, yeah, I have a lot of girlfriends, and when I see them talking, they have so many creams and night creams, and they put and they sleep with, and you know, karele ka juice or gajar ka juice, or ye maine ye aata kahan se hai ye sab, you know. I have many friends who do that, and I said I wish I could have a healthy skin like them, but then kudos to those girls there. When I see them and then I'm like, I'm nowhere. You know, so I do get ready in 10 minutes. Honestly बोल रही हूँ मैं, कितनी बार तो मैं नहा के निकल जाती हूँ सिर्फ कपड़े पहन के, and that's the best thing I do because I don't have my hair bouncy or anything. My hair is naturally straight, so there is no harm. Then if there is a formal meeting, I genuinely take like 7 to 10 minutes to do a little base and a little lipstick, and then you can move out. But there are many now is what I do. Now that I have a clear skin and everything, I'm very confident, and I just put on a basic cream that you have, and then I move out. I mostly go to the airports and all that without makeup. A face full of makeup would be a gothic eyeliner, black, and nude lipstick, and a nude little blush on your this thing, and heavy like a Amy Winehouse this thing. That's the best makeup I have. Eclectic is not my style, you know. Jeans कोई कलर की है, टी शर्ट किसी और कलर की है, कुछ कहीं जा रहा है, आई थिंक थोड़ा सा ना I feel little coordinated would do. I think Moni is killing it, bro. I mean, she and I are not great friends, but as I look at her from a this thing, and as somebody in the industry, she really inspires me. She is so on point all the time, whether you spot her at an airport. I hope she listens to this here. And whether you see her Instagram or you see her in real, she's always bang on. She just looks smashingly hot, and somebody, you know, I see has a real sense of fashion, bro. She never goes wrong. Everybody else is living in a fantasy world. Leather! I like boots with not uncomfortable long heels, like these ones. Yes, pastels though, I'm little duskier, so pastels don't suit me much, but yeah, peach is my color. Bootcut jeans. White oversized shirt. I think ripped white shorts and a white t-shirt in any style and a little white boots. I think these are the best things a girl, you know, looks hot in, and you can wear it like in 2 minutes and just go out, you know, wear chains and all of that. So that's my basic coolest style that I swear, but I want to stay like that. So yeah, well, this is all about my beauty and fashion, and if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe.